Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Dominica gets Jamaica's help in assessing security in the hurricane-hit island. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Wednesday, September 27. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. An official from Jamaica is in Dominica at the request of Prime Minister of the Eastern Caribbean nation to look at overall security on the heels of Hurricane Maria. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit said at his daily press briefing that the country had to ensure its security was not compromised by criminals who may try to take advantage of the situation that obtains as a result of the damage done by the Category 5 storm. And that will be the job of the security advisor and the four-member team that arrived on Wednesday.
Giving them certain directions and on some of the terms of references for their presence. And he is now meeting with the various stakeholders to assess the state of security, because we have to ensure that no criminals take the opportunity because of the exposure of our country for any criminal activity. And we have to ensure that we can intercept drugs that may want to come in, or guns and ammunition, and all of the systems we're looking at to ensure that we're not taken advantage of by criminal elements. And one of the other mandates of the security advisor is to look at the private sector installations and to how we can enhance the security for the private sector so that we can open business and have some normalcy in the country.
Prime Minister Skerrit also said that in order to ensure residents get much needed food and other aid during the period, the country is waiting for large quantities of supplies that have been donated but have not yet arrived because of logistical challenges. Credit accounts have been opened with major suppliers in Barbados. He said his government has procured 350 tons of supplies, which were expected on 2 vessels on Wednesday and were due to be delivered by helicopter during the day.
The British have and the Venezuelans have helicopter assets here, and they have been helping us, and we're utilizing those helicopter assets to transport the food for us in, so that we can, because my intention is today every village and every street in Dominica should have supplies, and in quantities that are adequate for the nourishment. On Friday again, we shall receive 165 tons of food, which the government purchased again from Barbados, and that again will be distributed within the approved protocol.
Skerrit added that 14 40-foot containers were loaded in Antigua on Wednesday and should arrive by Thursday, the latest. One plane load of supplies from Morocco and another from Suriname are also expected, and other shipments will arrive from Miami, Jamaica, Trinidad and Barbados over the next several days. Skerrit said a protocol for distribution of supplies has been drawn up, and once approved, it will govern how relief is distributed to ensure there is accountability, transparency and equity. Meantime, Skerrit said efforts are being made to get back to the job of educating Dominica's children. He said the structural integrity of the island's educational institutions is being assessed, and for students from schools that have been damaged beyond repair, makeshift classrooms will be set up.
We have gotten a benefactor who has indicated his willingness to source and finance a number of items for us. First, we'll be procuring about 15 large tents that can be erected in communities and serve as schools and desks and chairs and all of the learning and teaching resources. We'll be also importing chemical toilets to provide for the schools, and we'll be providing hot meals to the students at those schools, so that we can get first the fifth formers into schools and also the primary school children, and then we will take the other forms as we go along.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has some strong words for citizens who have criticized his government's proposal to assist hurricane-affected Dominicans. Just shut up. Some residents of the Twin Island Republic are not in agreement with the move to waive immigration requirements for Dominicans for a period of 6 months. And they have been vocal about it, saying the Dominicans will only be a burden on the already stretched country. But Prime Minister Rowley has hit back.
Lashing out at the criticism that has been leveled against the move to have some Dominican nationals come to this country for a period of 6 months. During an interview with reporters in Camus, Dr. Rowley said no one is being forced to open their homes to any national of the island that has been ravaged by Hurricane Maria. He says he was very clear that this offer was to those who have friends or family in Trinidad and Tobago who are willing to lend assistance. He called some of the comments and reaction nasty, saying it does not represent the majority of the people in this country.
And I'm very proud of those people in Trinidad and Tobago, the vast majority of the people of Trinidad and Tobago who are willing to and who have come to the fore to assist Dominica. Because I don't know where we got this from, that we don't have enough for ourselves, so therefore we can't help the destitute. I know that the people of Trinidad and Tobago are better than that. And of course, it doesn't help our country to be profiled in that way, that you ask for help for people who are so damaged by a natural disaster, and that there's a strong voice in the country opposing it in such a despicable way.
Dr. Rowley says he has been communicating on a regular basis with Dominican Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit about the situation on the island and also about the offer of assistance. Dr. Rowley also warned that some of the comments being made can be damaging to TNT's economic well-being.
Those now who have a lot to say about what I've said about Dominica had misconducted themselves and so annoyed our CARICOM purchasers of our goods that we were in danger of losing our CARICOM market. And all I will say to them is just shut your mouth and let Trinidad and Tobago strike.
And that's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley ending that report from CNC3 News in Trinidad and Tobago. The Bermuda government is rolling out the welcome mat to families who've lost their homes in recent hurricanes in the Caribbean. Officials announced Tuesday that a family of 4 from the British Virgin Islands who have relatives in Bermuda arrived last weekend. The Department of Immigration said it has also processed 12 work permit applications for staff from overseas-based companies who want to relocate, and more requests are being considered on a case-by-case basis. A spokesperson said people who are relocating will be expected to return to their respective countries as soon as conditions allow. Airports in the British and U.S. Virgin Islands are scheduled to reopen for commercial flights for the first time this week since Hurricane Maria forced their closure. In the British Virgin Islands, Minister of Communications and Work Mark Vanterpool says the Terence B. Lettsome Airport will reopen after the issue of securing the fencing is addressed, and the Cyril E. King Airport in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands is scheduled to reopen Thursday. Governor Kenneth Mapp also said plans are underway to open the Henry E. Rolson Airport in St. Croix next week. Coming up in Caribbean Newsline, Hurricane Maria's impact on Dominica to force Antigua to look elsewhere for agricultural produce. That story and more when we return.
In a place where legends start, the beach is just the beginning. So live a little for the exhilaration and the color of every moment, where time is and life is a spirited event. Immerse yourself in the culture, the music, the people, the island. Love Antigua and Barbuda. Embrace an experience that leaves you breathless, from cricket to sailing week to carnival and more. Antigua and Barbuda, the beach is just the beginning.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
Funny, with so many cool things to do here at the mountaintop, I didn't hear anyone mention perch fishing. We're having a heck of a time here from Vermont. Fishing is tough. You know, things, yeah, they'd better start going my way. And at this point, it's all about trying to get a couple big fish just to say it was a good day in the water. Again, never been on the lake, 5-mile-an-hour speed limit, very, very difficult. That's no excuse, we're gonna get them.
Welcome back. Antigua will now have to look to other Caribbean islands for agricultural produce following the devastation caused in Dominica by Hurricane Maria. The storm's impact on Dominica will result in a major reduction in the amount of agricultural produce that reaches Antigua from the Nature Isle. We get more in this ABS News report.
Antigua and Barbuda heavily depends on Dominica for produce, including bananas, plantains, and root crops. However, Director of Agriculture Jedediah Maxim notes that the devastation caused in Dominica by Hurricane Maria will greatly affect the amount of imports which will come to the country on a weekly basis.
The weekly shipment of produce that comes in from Dominica to include primarily bananas, plantain, and root crops. Of course, you know, most of the infrastructure within the country to get food from the countryside to the ports are totally devastated, and so that will pose a challenge to the peoples of Dominica to get produce to Antigua and Barbuda. I mean, at this present time, we know that they're in a survival mode. The basic needs are what people are attending to, and so I think that we will definitely see a reduction, a marked reduction in the quantity of produce that is coming in from Dominica.
Technical consultant at the ministry, Julius Ross, says Agriculture Minister, the Honorable Arthur Nibbs, is in discussions with other OECS countries from which the produce may be sourced in the interim.
Going to be having some wide-ranging discussions today in St. Lucia, and at that meeting the various ministers will be able to not only give commitment to the cause but also say what level of preparedness and support they can give, especially like taking up the supply deficit.
Ross says the movement of goods will be made possible by the Agriculture Shipping Initiative, facilitated by the OECS Commission. He says that the last time this occurred with Dominica, goods were imported from St. Lucia. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is another potential source market.
Martinique is standing in solidarity with the victims of Hurricane Irma and Maria. Residents are collecting relief items to help those affected in neighboring islands. We get more in this special report from our partners over at France Caraïbes Broadcast.
Praise of thanks, but also as a contribution faced with the misfortune of neighboring islands, the evangelical community of Martinique is mobilized, for it is a question of associating the humanitarian aspects with the spirituality.
We would like to thank God at first for Martinique that He spared and all the people He protected from our neighbors in the Caribbean, and then also make our contribution to know how to make gifts and end with a moment of sharing and songs with all those who have kindly contributed. We have come together to truly manifest the love that God has given us. Since God is love, and in our turn, we must show this love to our brothers, sisters, and friends in Dominica, Saint Martin, and the Caribbean.
À l'antenne de la Pointe de Jarme, la CTM s'organise.
At the same time, the territorial collectivity of Martinique is organized. For more than a week, the collectivity has been collecting food and other necessities for the affected islands. It is now towards Dominica that the donations are sent.
Vers la Dominique que sont acheminés les dons.
The president of the collectivity has already visited the site to meet the Prime Minister of Dominica, so everything is already well organized for the entire Dominican population being able to benefit from all this operation as efficiently as possible.
The municipalities here in Trois-Îlets, associations and municipality join hands to bring their stone to the edifice.
There are teams in the field with the sportsmen and the matches of today. I'm there with colleagues. We take care of the collection. We have spread the word, and as soon as the city council needs us, we reply present.
The population is not left behind. Sandra has come, accompanied by her two children, because there is no age to do well.
There is no age to be in solidarity. There are many children like them who don't have, so it's an opportunity to show them that it's also necessary to give.
And in other news, health officials in some Caribbean countries are grappling with an outbreak of conjunctivitis, also known as pink eye or red eye. But officials in Belize say this latest outbreak is beyond anything they've seen before, and they're planning to send samples to the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, to determine what's causing it.
Last week we had 870 cases reported. This week so far we have 131, and we're just at Monday. In total, for the past 3 weeks, we've had 1,108 cases reported. So an outbreak of this magnitude for conjunctivitis, we don't normally see this in my experience. I think the last time we had an outbreak of conjunctivitis that was this large was probably somewhere between 2003 and 2005. We think that what we're dealing with at the moment is viral conjunctivitis, which tends to spread a lot more easily than one that's caused by bacteria. But we are trying to confirm that. We have asked the districts to take biological specimens, so swabs from the eyes of patients that come into their health facilities, so that we can get them tested at the Central Medical Laboratory for bacteria. So far, the report from the Central Medical Lab is that they're not seeing any of those specimens showing evidence of bacterial infection, and we will be sending this week specimens to CARPHA, the Caribbean Public Health Agency in Trinidad, because they can do the viral testing, and then we'll know for sure what we're dealing with.
And ahead in Newsline Sport, another disappointing loss for the West Indies in the ODI series against England. Stay with us. Sport is next.
In a place where legends start, the beach is just the beginning. So live a little for the exhilaration and the colour of every moment, where time is and life is a spirited event. Immerse yourself in the culture, the music, the people, the island. Love Antigua and Barbuda. Embrace an experience that leaves you breathless, from cricket to sailing week to carnival and more. Antigua and Barbuda, the beach is just the beginning.
The beauty of Kashmir is legendary. The Mughal Emperor Jahangir wrote in his memoirs in March 1622, they make their wooden houses 2, 3, and 4-storied and cover the roofs with earth. They plant bulbs of the black tulip, which blooms year after year with the arrival of spring and is exceedingly beautiful.
The camaraderie here is just unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, I just want to be part of it. Everybody does. When you just come here, you just realize you just want to be part of this. And you want to be part of these people because they are just phenomenal.
Got a family again.
England beat West Indies by 6 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis method in the 4th one-day international after rain intervened to end the contest at the Oval prematurely on Wednesday. Opener Evan Lewis had smashed a career-best 176 as West Indies piled up a first innings total of 356 for 5, their 4th highest total in ODIs and highest ever against England. Lewis was supported by captain Jason Holder, who lashed a career-best 77, while Jason Mohammed got 46 and Rothman Powell a cameo unbeaten 28 at the end.
Taken, yes, one of those 3 slips. This is a good ball from Wokes. The previous ball came back in at Gale. This one moved away, took the outside edge, and Root did the rest. Again, shuffling across, and Marlon Samuels just crab-like across his crease. Given out LBW.
And that is out. That's gone pretty fine. Is it going? Yes, it's gone. And that's 3 figures for Evan Lewis. And what an innings. Fantastic knock.
Yeah, one of the best knocks of the summer. So much control under pressure.
Well, that's a strong shot down the ground. No hint of an edge there. Goes again, gets it again. Another 6. Well, West Indies are putting their foot down. Into the crowd for 6. 50 for Holder, 270 for 4 from 43. West Indies are motoring.
Corner, but he can't go too wide. That's the area he's concerned about. That's 6, and that's 150 for Lewis.
It's getting better and better.
Short, leg side. I said he didn't worry about the short ball. He hasn't on that occasion. That's 6 more. That'll hurt. Ouch. He's down. I think he's hit it on the inside of his ankle. That will hurt.
Bang it in. Big inside here. It's gone at the back of the heel, isn't it? It's missed the padding. Ooh.
And unfortunately, after a brilliant partnership between Holder and Lewis, Lewis has been stretchered off. Short ball picked up. It's a long way out there. It's not long enough. It's 6. Full toss. It's gone a long way up. Should be taken. Should be caught. Is caught by Sam Billings in the deep. But that
And chasing a difficult 357 for victory, England were 258 for 5 in the 36th over when the bad weather drove players from the field. Opener Jason Roy top scored with 84, while Moheen Ali hammered an unbeaten 48 and Jos Buttler 43 not out to get England ahead of the required rate. Fast bowler Alzari Joseph claimed career best figures of 5 for 56, and it was also his maiden 5-wicket haul in ODIs. Here are the highlights.
Full toss and put away well.
down the ground, mid-on is up. Short arm jab. Brilliant shot. Ball nicked on. Tried to work it down to 3rd man. Oh, he'll be regretting it. It was a nothing shot, really. He was only going to get a single. Edged and gone again, yeah. Twice now they've tried to run it off the face of the bat straight to the wicket-keeper, and Joseph has 2. Oh, there's a little nick there. I think there is a little toe end, you know. He is. He's gone. England have lost 3. All to Joseph. All the way, and what a grab. What a brilliant, brilliant catch. Kyle Hope, the substitute fielder. And Morgan was living dangerously. No more, he's gone. Edged and Gale! Crystal Gale diving to his right. 5 for Alzari Joseph. And the big man has grabbed a beauty.
And again, 6-4-6. Moeen Ali on the attack. England are currently 6 ahead as the game stands, and the umpires decide that The rain is coming down too heavily and will take the players from the field. So a brilliant counter-attack in the last half hour from Josh Butler and Moeen Ali. Partnership of 77 in 8 overs or thereabouts has just got them ahead of the Duckworth-Lewis target.
Well, the newly constructed Brian Lara Stadium will play host to the 3-match one-day international series between West Indies women and Sri Lanka women as the Caribbean side begin its bid for direct qualification for the ICC 2021 World Cup. In a statement issued on Tuesday, Cricket West Indies announced the matches would be played on October 11, 13 and 15 at the facility in Tarouba in South Trinidad and would form part of the new cycle of the ICC Women's Championship, which will be contested by the 8 leading women's teams. An 18-member West Indies women's squad is currently in training in Trinidad in preparation for the upcoming series. The Windies, along with Sri Lanka, Australia, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Africa and newly crowned 50-over world champions England, will do battle in the Women's Championship until March 2020. Hosts New Zealand and the 3 other highest-ranked sides at the conclusion of the championship will gain direct qualification for the World Cup. The remaining 4 sides will enter a qualifier. Over to football now. We switch in sport. Jamaica's new football boss is aiming to cut down a large debt the association owes the government. President Michael Ricketts has sought help from the Olympic Association to bail out the Jamaica Football Federation. He says the federation is putting forward plans to attract more support in local matches. TVJ's Jordan Fort has the details.
$265 million debt is one of the main areas of concern for new JFF President Michael Ricketts, who on Wednesday took steps to try to address that issue by meeting with the Jamaica Olympic Association.
The treasurer and I have met, and we are working out some ways of addressing this. We actually owe to the government for statutory deductions $178 million of the 365. Now we must try and engage the respective ministry or ministries in an effort to work out some kind of a repayment plan, or maybe a write-off if that's on the card.
So how will the Jamaica Olympic Association help in this regard?
I am sure that there are developmental costs. Rather than burden them with some of those development costs, the JO will look to see if we can assist in that regard, because we are far more interested in development. Yes, debt servicing and debt repayment are critical to the wheel of an organization. But certainly in terms of our expertise, we will be at the negotiating table at the invitation of the JFF to see how best we can work with third-party creditors, to see if we can get repayment plan and get JFF on a critical path.
And Ricketts says...
And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Barbados, renowned for its pristine beachfront and fantastic weather, continues to leave quite an impression on newcomers to the island and returning visitors. The Caribbean island, quite popular as a vacation hotspot, is not only beautiful due to its natural aesthetics. The island of Barbados continues to grow in popularity because of unique connections developed with our people, our culture. We can't wait to welcome you.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today. Again, the major developments of this day: Dominica gets Jamaica's help in assessing security in the hurricane-hit island. And in sport, England beat West Indies by 6 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis method. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to cornernews.com. We'll be back here tomorrow, but from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a good night.